Kia ora, a very active squall line of thunderstorms moved across Auckland this morning, bringing some really intense bursts of rainfall and some hail and some pretty gusty winds. You can see on the radar chart that band ran through around about 10 o'clock, but it's moving very quickly away towards the north and the east. Behind it though, we have still got the risk of more thunderstorms as we head through the rest of Wednesday afternoon. We'll stick in this southwesterly feed of air with those showers and thunderstorms running up around that western coast of the North Island. Something to watch out for as we head through the rest of the day. So we have still got a severe thunderstorm watch out right the way through till 7 p.m. tonight, 7 p.m. on Wednesday, across that same area, those southern parts of Northland, across towards Auckland, the Coromandel Peninsula, and even out towards those northern parts of Waikato as well. Head along to the Met Service website for more information and timing, but don't forget that if we have this severe weather watch out, we are thinking this is the place that we could find those thunderstorms developing. And if we see a severe thunderstorm developing on our radar system, we will issue a severe thunderstorm warning. And you can get notifications on these from our app. So if you download our app and turn on notifications, you can be notified when a severe thunderstorm warning is issued in your area. Head along to the Met Service website for more information on that, but it's a really useful feature to get those notifications as soon as they're issued. As well as the thunderstorms, we've also got some pretty windy conditions across many parts of New Zealand, particularly up across those far northern parts, up towards Northland, Auckland, Coromandel, parts of Taranaki, and even for the first part of the afternoon, down in the far southern parts of Dunedin and Clutha. Now, these winds could be strong enough to cause damage to things like trees and power lines and cause some power outages, so well worth keeping up to date with the forecast. But we have got some severe weather watches and warnings in place across parts of the country, with the strongest winds for places like Auckland expected as we head through the evening today, and those gusts perhaps reaching around about 120 kilometres an hour. So let's have a look at how things are set to pan out across those northern parts of New Zealand. As we head through the rest of the afternoon, you can see these winds all coming in from that southwesterly direction. So those areas exposed to that direction are the ones which are going to see the strongest winds. So around those coastal parts, we could find those gusts up to around about 110, 120 kilometres an hour at times as we head through the evening time. A rather blustery story for all of us though, with 90 to 100 kilometres an hour winds not out of the question at all. So we have got that strong wind warning in place right the way through Wednesday afternoon, even in towards those early hours of the morning on Thursday. And you can see we're bookending that with severe weather watches across those southern parts of north and south of Kaikoui, and of course a watch as well north of Matamata and across towards the Kaimai Range and the Coromandel Peninsula, with those winds perhaps reaching severe gale in exposed areas across those areas covered by the watches. And those watches also run through the rest of the afternoon into Thursday morning. As we head further southwards, we'll also find a severe weather watch across those far western parts of Taranaki. You can see those winds sticking with us as we head through the daytime. That watch runs right the way through Wednesday afternoon into the evening until about midnight tonight, Wednesday into Thursday. Again, those winds perhaps reaching severe gale force at times, and the gusts 90 to 100 kilometres an hour at possible. So well worth keeping an eye on the forecast. That's still strong enough to lift things and damage trees and power lines. So well worth keeping a close eye on the winds through parts of Taranaki. But they're not the only place with the watches. Down on the south side, as we head through the first part of this afternoon, right the way through to about 4 p.m, we'll keep hold of some stronger winds through parts of Dunedin and Clutha. And again, the winds strongest around those coastal areas, around the likes of the Otago Peninsula. Those winds perhaps reaching severe gale as we head through the afternoon, but they should start to ease off once we head towards the night. Now, the good news is, as we head through to Friday, the weather is much more settled. High pressure builds across the country, and we should find the winds really start to drop down, and a much drier story for many of us. However, you can see down in the far south, those white lines, the isobars, the closer they are, the stronger the wind. A good indication as we head in towards the weekend, we'll find northwesterly winds this time, increasing across the south line, bring some heavier rainfall on towards those western coasts and some stronger winds elsewhere. So well worth keeping an eye on the forecast for the start of that long weekend. That's it from me. That's from metservice.com.